Very good morning, students. This is Jay Vishahan. For this lecturing video session, I'm going to take a topic returns to scale, which is one of the classifications of long run prediction function. So let's see the definition of returns to scale first. The term returns to scale refers to the changes in output as all factors change by the same proportion set by the economist Corsionis, which means returns to scale relates to the behavior of the total output as all inputs are varied and is a long run concept, right? In the long run, all factor inputs are variable. See, unlike the short run production function, one variable considered, and for the second analysis, see, consider two variables. See, as far as the returns to scale, here the all the factors are variable, right? The returns to scale explain the relationship between input and output in the long period. So this is basically for the long scale of production, isn't it? So the study about the changes in output as a consequence of changes in all the inputs. The law of returns to scale explains the behavior of the total output in response to change in the scale of the firm, which means that is in response to the simultaneous to changes in the scale of the firm, that is in response to simultaneous and proportional increase in all the inputs. So precisely the law of returns of scale explains how a simultaneous and proportionate increase in all the input affects the total output at its various levels. Which means when a firm changes the quantity of all inputs in the long run, it changes its scale of production. It can be small scale of production or large scale of production. Right. So let's see the few assumptions of returns to scale. Here the all the inputs can vary except the enterprises. The other inputs can be capital, land, and labor. Right. So workers accurately do their assigned work with provided tools. And the third one, as far as the technology is concerned, the technology remain unchanged during production. Right. Next, there is a perfect competition in the market, and the output of the product is measured in terms of quantities. So these are the few assumptions as far as the returns to scale is concerned. Let's see the types of the returns to scale. So there's a classifications of returns to scale are increasing returns to scale. It can be called as IRS in short. And the second one is constant returns to scale. In short, it can be called as CRS. And the third one is diminishing returns to scale. In short, it can be called as DRS. Let's see one by one in detail with the schedule and the graph. So first, I will explain in detail about the increasing returns to scale. Right. So IRS, that is increasing returns to scale, refers to a situation when all factors of productions are increased, output increases at the higher rate. So it means if all inputs are doubled, then naturally the output will also increase at the faster rate than double. Hence, it is said to be increasing returns to scale. Right. So when proportionate increase in total output is more than proportionate increase in inputs, it is called increasing returns to scale. For an example, if all the inputs are increased by 100%, then the output increases by more than 100%. So let's see a table wherein few examples is being given to show in detail about which relevant to the IRS, that is increasing returns to scale. So here first input is considered as 1K, which is capital, one capital and two labors. At a particular juncture, the output is 100 units. If we increase the inputs by 100%, that is instead of 1K, it is became 2K instead of 2 labor 4L. At that particular time, the output in terms of unit has been increased to 250. By increasing 100% in input, look at here, the output increases by 150 percentage. So further, if we increase 100% the inputs, instead of 2, we increase to 4K, instead of 4 became 8L, the output increases more than 100%. So from 250 to 600. So percentage increase in input is 100%. And when you just look at the percentage increase in output is 140%. So the input, if we input increases by 100%, the output naturally increase more than 100%, which is nothing but increasing returns to scale. Here, a graphical representation where it shows in x-axis, that is Yx, the unit of labor and capital, right? That is the inputs, and in the y-axis, it is output. So look at here, increase 100% in the quantity, that is the inputs, the output increases more than 100%. Right? Let's see the diminishing returns to scale. So diminishing returns to scale refer to that the production situation where if all the factor of productions are increased in the given proportion, output increases in a smaller portion. It means if inputs are doubled, output will not be more than 100%. That means it will not be doubled, which would be less than doubled. Right? So when proportionate increase in total input is less than proportionate increase in output, it is called diminishing returns to scale. An example, if all the inputs are increased by 100%, then the output increases but less than 100%. Right? Let's see the table where it shows the inputs, that is K is capital, L is labor, 16K plus 32K. At that particular input, the firm delivers 2,400 units. So if we increase the inputs by 100% from 16K to 32K and 32L to 64K, look at the output, it is 4,200. By increasing the input 100%, you could get only 75%, which is less than 100%. Right? And if we further increase the inputs by 100% from 32 to 64K and 64L to 128L, the output obtained is 7,315. So percentage increase in input is 100%, right? From 32 to K, 64, from 64 to 128. And the output, the percentage increase in output is obtained is 75% only. This is nothing but the diminishing returns to scale. Let's see the graphical representation where the x-axis shows more than this, there's a 100% increase in inputs, that is the capital and the labor. And the y-axis, it shows the output from P to P1, which is not proportionate to this one. So which is less than the proportionate of Q and Q1. So it is nothing but the diminishing returns to scale. Let's see the constant returns to scale. So what it says, the constant returns to scale refers to the production situation in which output increases exactly in the same proportion in which factors of production are increased. In simple terms, if product factors of production are doubled, naturally the output will also be doubled. Right? So when proportionate increase in total output is equal to the proportionate increase in inputs, it is known as constant returns to scale. For an example, if all the inputs are increased by 100%, then the output increases by 100%. Let's quickly go through the table. It shows in detail about the constant returns of scale. So initially the inputs are 4K plus 8L, that is 4 capital and 8 labors. At that particular time, the firm delivers 600 units. Right? If we increase the inputs by 100% from 4K to 8K and 8L to 16L, the output increases from 600 to 1200. So by increasing the inputs 100%, the output will also be 100%, right? If increase further the inputs by 100% from 8K to 16K and 16L to 32L, the firm delivers the output of 2400. That is, by increasing the 100% of the input, the firm delivers the percentage increase in output as 100%, which is nothing but the constant result. Because here, if the inputs are increased by 100%, then output also will be increases by 100%. Both are same. So that is why it is called constant returns to scale. So look at the graph where the x-axis shows the units, that is labor and capital, and the y-axis shows the output. Look at the proportionate, the Q1, Q2 and P2, P1 are similar. That is the one and the same. So which is just fixed, that is the constant returns to scale. So let's see the consolidated graphical representation of returns to scale by incorporating the increasing returns to scale, constant returns to scale, and diminishing returns to scale. So in the x-axis, that is the inputs, that is the scale of proportion, and the y-axis is the marginal product or the output. So the line PQ represents the above diagram. The inputs are taken as y axis and the marginal product is measured along y axis. So the point from P to Q, it is increasing returns to scale, and from the point Q2 to R, it shows Q2 to R, it is constant return to scale, and from the point R to S, it is decreasing returns to scale. Hope you have all understood the concept of returns to scale. That is the increasing returns by increasing the inputs by 100%, the output also increases more than 100%, right? That is IRS. The CRS is concerned, if the factors increased by 100%, the output also increases by 100%. When it comes to DRS, the proportionate increases, the total output is less than 100%. That is, if all input are increased by 100%, then the output increases by less than 100%. This is decreasing returns to scale or diminishing returns to scale. Hope you have all understood. I will be coming up with the next video in different topics. Thank you.